Cajun Cannon. It was a 26-9 Tampa Bay Buccaneers victory. Nothing pretty in this one to write home about. Offense, defense, special teams, nobody really coming through. And black and gold starting October with a loss, now 2-2 on the season.
Well, I think the Saints pulled the wool over my eye. They bamboozled me. And I want to be optimistic. I was optimistic after this outing in front of the home folks. But, as of late, the home folks, we haven't had good showings. The reason why I'm going to talk about this, because if you look at it, okay, don't feel advantage. We want the don't feel advantage. Of the last 18 games, how many we've lost? Now, you'd think, I don't know, if you're really rolling in the Superdome, we'd be 14-4? Well, out of the last 18 contests, we've lost 11 games. Now, this is dating back to the COVID year. The 2020 NFC Divisional Playoff loss of all teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, they definitely were not the Succaneers today, to say the least. And it's puzzling because I guess it's cyclical. For a team that played, 11 one-score games a year ago, and, you figured to be involved in a lot of cliffhanger games this season and maybe have that don't feel advantage. There's no way you can have a don't feel advantage if you lose 26-9. You really don't have anything to cheer about if you're a fan. And, we get kind of spoiled because when you're used to having the don't feel advantage, we view it as one of the most feared venues in the NFL, but not as of late. Not so fast. If you look, I don't know, it was COVID or whatever it's been, but the last 18 games of whom we've lost 11. So think about that. So we're like 7 wins, 11 losses, the last 18 games at home. That's what, are we the Bears? Are we the Chicago Bad News Bears? When you look at it, no, not so fast. Because you know why? To show you how football is. In the 4-year span from 2017 to 20, and then 2008 and 11, that's recently what we've witnessed, the modern-day Saints fan. We had won 25 of 32 home games during that stretch. From 2011 and 18, they had home winning streaks of 6, 6, 7, 8, and 11 games. And if you look at it, again, this is all 17 to 20 to COVID. The Saints were one of the NFL's best teams. They won 49 regular season games, more than any other franchise in that span, reeling off 4 straight division championships. How far do we feel from there right now? Okay, like you look at since COVID, I think we still got COVID or something. I don't know how we playing because normally we've had Tampa Bay's number. And when I say this, we have the highest winning percentage against any NFL opponent. We win 63% of the time. Well, we had no chance. To show you how bad it was, they had 11 penalties, 91 yards. Usually that's a touchdown. Okay, so let's add a touchdown. We still lost 26-17 instead of 27. Even with the penalties working on our behalf as far as Tampa Bay having 11.
That hurts.
For 91 yards, that even if you give us the touchdown, because that's usually what it comes about, we still didn't have a chance to win. So now you look against the Pewter Pirates, we 39-24. What have you done for me lately? And going into this game, we got swept by Tampa Bay last season.
Right.
For the first time since 2007. This is pre-Super Bowl. And now we've lost 3 in a row. So when you look at that, that's not a good outing. Now, I know all the time we 21-14, but what have you done for me lately? No, there's nothing to write home about. I guess when it rains, it pours. And I don't know, in this modern day and age, don't you have to score? Now, we finally gave up more than 20 points, so that record finally stops, because they were able to get 26. But you look at under Dennis Allen, okay, where we're at right now, and you think you got to score or move the football. If somebody told me we had 197 total yards, I said, oh, yeah, at half. We probably got that at half. Oh, no, the whole game? No, that was the whole game, not half. The Saints are 1-5 overall I should say now they 1-6. They were 1-5 overall when Dennis Allen, when having under 300 total yards, that them being the Saints. So now we're 1-6. Even though we got overall we think top 10 defense, even though they didn't play like that today. And when they don't play like a top 10 defense, we have no chance. So the Saints defense, for instance, versus Green Bay and Tampa Bay, okay, this is when I'll say, do we truly have a kick-ass defense week in and week out? I'd say, what have you done for them lately? No. Against Green Bay and Tampa Bay, they combined 52% on third down. They were 16 of 31. And it's been like this in back-to-back games because it just shows you. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the first two games, it was flipped. We were doing excellent on third down defense, amongst the best in the league. I want to say we're number 2, but not the last two games. And then offensively, we weren't great, but we were very good. Well, today now, back-to-back games, obviously we disappointed. Look at the Bucs. They were 8 of 15, 53%. We were 5 of 14, 36%. To say the least, it's not winning football. I don't know. You want to be entertained as a fan. You go to a game. I think you want to win. I don't know, fans. We all LSU fans, Saints fans, Tulane fans. I don't know. Would you much rather lose in a shootout, kind of like with LSU and Ole Miss, if you're an LSU fan?
That was at least entertaining.
Yes. Versus, I don't know what I'm going to cheer for. We kicked 3 field goals.
Yay.
Now, if we won 9-8,
that's different.
Yeah,
sure.
It's different. But not 26-9. The Saints have not scored a touchdown in the last 100 minutes plus. This is the NFL. You're supposed to be prolific weapons.
Pete.
Yeah, Sneaky Pete, Derek Carr. Everybody has a hand in this. The offensive line. But we have not scored a touchdown. You got to go back to Rashid Shaheed, 76-yard punt return in the second quarter at Green Bay. So we basically, you know how we sing, we haven't given up a touchdown in all these quarters. Well, now it's flipped.
Now we're not scoring them.
Now our offense can't score a damn touchdown. No, I'm dejected right now. I'm disheartened. Double-digit wins. Right now, you play like this, it might be a repeat of last year, and you're hovering around 500. So what is that? I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to say 7-10. There's an 8-9, 9-8. Not good enough. If they go 8-9, 9-8, everybody got to go. Sorry, that's not living up to expectations, considering the expectations from the organization and the fans' point of view. So no, it's because I'm telling you, the quarterback matchups. Was Tom Brady still playing for the Bucs?
Last year?
No, like today.
Oh.
I thought it was Tom Brady out there. We made Baker Mayfield. It's like the second coming. He's risen from the dead.
He's beat us back-to-back times now. Last year at Carolina and now at Tampa this
season. But Carolina, he didn't play.
No, exactly. There was nothing to write home with there. He was good here.
He played excellent today. 117 quarterback rating, 25 of 32. Efficient 246 yards and went 346. Now, I know he had that interception. He threw 3 touchdowns. But compared to Derek Carr, 23 of 37, 127 yards. Again, that was 9.5. That was the complete game for Derek Carr, a quarterback rating of 68 when you look at it. I thought Rashid Shaheed came close to maybe breaking one punt return. He had 2 punt returns. He had that 29 long gain. That punter with Tampa Bay, he was punting line drives. I think they might have punting problems like sometimes we think with Headley. And, not having confidence where the ball is going to end up. I'd say the one defensive player that did show up, and I think he's getting better. I think he got a penalty in the game, but the game is well at hand. Brian Brzee. He ended up with 4 total tackles. He had a sack. He had a quarterback hurry and 2 tackles for loss. So I don't know. I want to give the game ball to the fans for showing up for this garbage. I mean, look at the expectations. They want to cheer. They want to give you that dome field advantage. But as of late, they made no dome field advantage. You got to come away with a win. You can't be well under 500 in the dome. And again, that is a big sample size. That is the last 18 games. It's not, that's 2 or 3. The last 18 games, we've only won 7. Not good. Not no dome field advantage. You can't say the fans are there. but you got to give him something to cheer for. Pete Werner led the team in tackles with 8, 5 unassisted. Malcolm Roach, I think Roach does his role, quarterback hurry. He had a tackle for loss. You know who's not showing up? I'm not saying they're old. Just look at the last 2 games. And when I'm talking about impact plays, what has DeMario Davis and Cam Jordan done? And this might be good for some other player, but not considered the best of the best and legends, living legends still playing. DeMario Davis had 5 tackles, 2 unassisted. Cam had 4 tackles. He did have a quarterback hurry, but no, like Carl Granderson with impact. He had 4 total tackles. No, we got whooped by Tampa Bay. We got manhandled by Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you look at the schedule and all that, I had thought, well, we only 2-2, and you acting like the sky is falling, but it's how you lose. When you blow a 17-point lead with 12 minutes left, and then you lay an egg like you did in front of the home folks in the Dome, hell yeah, you should be concerned. Oh, well, instead of always, because I always do this, instead of looking at the glass half full, damn it, I'm looking at it half empty. Because right now, I was hoping we'd be 3-1, if not 4-0.
Should be.
Now we think we have the advantage at quarterback over the opposing quarterback. Well, there wasn't no advantage with Derek Carr. I know he's maybe playing with a hurt shoulder. You know what I thought? Let me get this. I got this somewhere in my notes right here. I thought a big play to start the game. You know, we went, if you look at it, we went 11 plays, 56 yards. We were winning 3-0. Okay, I felt good about that. Then all of a sudden, Tampa Bay, they don't score. They had a 3rd and 16. They had to end up punting. We had a 3rd and 9 situation when Derek Carr missed Prentice, the fullback. He'd have ran for days. Talk about big plays and not hitting on him. There was the guy who was supposed to be guarding him. I was talking with Deuce about this. The guy who was supposed to be guarding Adam Prentice. He just left him and started rushing, and he was wide open. Somebody might eventually caught him, but I mean, he could have ran for days. There was nobody out there. You got to. It's not high school or little league. You got to hit that. You got to hit that 100%. Not 9 out of 10. It has to be 10 out of 10. And that's when it started to go downhill. Because you know what else happened after that? Okay, we punted to them. It was a 3rd and 7 situation. Boy, a great break on the ball. He ended up hurting his hamstring. Remember Lonnie Johnson Jr. dropped the interception? See,
right there.
And that's all the momentum at the beginning of the games. Those are the plays that you have to make. And it just seemed like from that time on, it went downhill. And all of a sudden you look at, okay, right before the half, and you all, fired up. And what's going to come about? I mean, great interception by Isaac Yadam. Okay, then all of a sudden we +1 in the turnover margin. And then Adam Prentice. That had to be his worst. He's never going to show his grandkids this game. Adam Prentice fumbles. And so all of a sudden, now instead of going in at halftime and we losing 7-3, it's like 14-3. And you want to talk about momentum? Look, we had only 43 yards since the first drive to go in at halftime. This is a press box that after 3 quarters, I want to say that that Baker Mayfield had more passing yards than we had total yards. So you think about, like All-Face, what are you doing as a team? So talking about not clicking on all cylinders, it's like we didn't even get out the garage. I mean, we couldn't even start the car. I mean, it was that disheartening, discouraging because
that was a good pun there.
Okay,
couldn't start the car.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. You're right, Steve. But the thing is, you accept certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Tampa Bay ain't going nowhere. Tampa Bay is not going anywhere. Now, this would have happened. Let's say, I won't say the Cowgirls. I'm not gonna say that. But if this would have been, let's say, like the 49ers. Or the Chiefs, or whoever you think is the handful amongst the best of the best.
Right.
Well, I could honestly, they just better than us. They just way better than us, but that's not the case. I think Tampa Bay is middle of the pack, like average. So where does that make us now?
Below average.
Playoffs. Whoa. There's nothing to write home about. And it ain't going to get any easier. You know why? For our offense? Now, that's one thing. I don't know what they could do against Dallas, that being the Patriots. But the Patriots got a kick-ass defense, and we got to go to the road at New England. Then we're going to go at the road. Oh, Houston, Texas. We're going to beat Houston, Texas. But look how well C.J. Stroud's playing. I don't know. Very discouraging loss and very disheartening. Everybody needs to look in the mirror as an individual player. What more can I do to help this team win and not point the finger? Players, coaches, whatever it might be. This is a Michael Thomas game. I thought this would happen. 6 targets, 4 catches, 53 yards. That's the norm to me.
Right.
This is unbelievable. If you would have told me Alvin Kamara's got 14 targets and 13 catches, he must have had a big game. He had 33 yards. He averaged 2.5 yards a catch on 13 catches. Boy, talk about swarming the ball and not letting him get started. And then Chris Olave. What? Was he in the doghouse this week? What the hell happened? That 6 targets. At the beginning, he only had 1, and then only 1 catch for 4 yards. No, the Saints right now, they might have a lot of weapons, but those weapons aren't always showing up.